not bad. Wow, wow. I'm so cooked. I've been driving around for long, guys, trying to find chicken wings on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Outside, I just, those chicken wings, they hit so good. I mean, she was expensive. It was like $50 because of how hungry I am. I think it's totally worth it on Thanksgiving. So, um, my wife is just kind of chilling over there. Yeah. Um, but you know what? When it's nighttime, I mean, it's kind of chilly, even inside the pool. But I mean, heck, why not? I mean, temperature is 82, but still, like when it gets warmer in afternoon, of course, it's the best. But let's go for a swim, guys. I can't complain. I mean, yeah, I can't complain. I could turn on TV and watch it over here, but oh man, yeah, I could turn on and watch it, but I'm just so cooked right now. So cooked, man. That was what I ordered, guys, on Thanksgiving. Is Indian food. I, I couldn't find any other food, so I had to find something else. So Indian food was really, really good. I was like, oh my God, I'm just so glad they were open because nothing was open, guys. I was riding around like a maniac trying to figure it out. Like, where the hell can I find any food at all? And then I found some Indian food. I got some chicken tikka masala and some chicken wings, and man, it hit me so nice. I'm gonna be so cooked. Then I'm probably, I don't know, probably gonna watch Startup today on Netflix. It's just a little bit relaxing watching Startup. Yeah, I'm so cooked. That's not even funny, guys. Sheesh. I mean, those chicken wings, guys, they hit me so good. But literally, I've been riding around, circling around all over this town. I don't even know what town I'm in, but somewhere deep in Florida. And yeah, guys, I've been finally found some chicken wings and some chicken tikka masala, and I was like, man, you know what? I mean, it's a heck of a lot better than nothing because I couldn't find anything at all. I couldn't find anything at all, and I stopped by some bar, and they were like, oh, you know what? We only have turkey, and I'm like, man, I kind of don't want turkey. I want, I don't know, like some chicken wings. That's what I want. That's what I want. Anyway, guys, that's what's up. And thank you for jumping in together with me into this pool. So, guys, check this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some insane digital faceless marketing strategies for any kind of business, whether you're brick and mortar or, I don't know, like a TikTok shop, drop shipping business, or any other kind of business. This is going to work for you like a clock, okay? I'm going to go ahead and give you the tea, but you have to pay close attention to the tea. The tea is so strong that I'm afraid that you're going to literally pass out. No, just kidding. But I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes the tea is super strong, guys. It's strong for folks who kind of can follow through with the strategy because it's so easy to get cooked and not understand the strategy if you're that kind of person who'll be like, man, I need the tea. I want it now. But like not patient, then of course it's gonna be hard for you to kind of figure the strategy out. But look, I'm gonna make it really simple, guys. Really simple. I'm gonna give you a YouTube strategy, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you a school strategy for how to grow yourself across both platforms and do so with style, and of course in the process of doing that, making some money as well, reselling whatever it is that you're trying to resell. And of course, guys, this is T, and wow, we got some folks over here, the Many Adventures Anna Brooks. Brooke, well, thank you guys for joining and saying hello. My name is Ron Wells, and you guys already know who I am. I'm a 21st century freedom writer. I wrote over 4,000 poems. Many of you guys probably read those poems. I don't know how many blunts I smoked that day when I written them, but needless to say, I've written many way before ChatGPT came around. Some of you perhaps know me from some of those incredible guides that I created to help different types of lawyers, accountants, accounting people, accountants, and all sorts of professions become lawyers, become accountants. Some of you perhaps know me from real estate. Some of you like commercial multifamily real estate. Some of you may know me from digital faceless marketing journeys. And some of you may know me from the talent agency perspective. I did build a luxury talent brand. It's called Freedom Fusion System. And what this brand allows you to do, guys, it allows you to literally get connected with one another to help brands make money. And of course, in a process, or who knows, maybe you want to become that brand too. What we do, we find brands, we connect brands together with powerful side hustlers and other types of moms. And those brands could be luxury pet moms, it could be any other kind of brands, but our focus is on luxury pet moms over 40. What we do, we connect luxury pet moms over 40 together with powerful side hustlers from overseas. And of course, those side hustlers have all those hybrid skills that are not taught in college, ranging from threat stacking, TikTok sniping, and all sorts of other skills that are literally borderline, borderline nuts, but those skills are very powerful. So powerful that when I was following through with those skills, $1 billion company named Pepsi loved it so much they created a drink called Freedom Fusion Mountain Dew by summer edition of 2024. So that was like a big discovery for me. I was like, man, I'm onto something. Ever since then, I was like, let me double down and see if I could build something very lucrative for luxury pet moms over 40 to help them spend more time with their pets, cats, kids, and dogs, but at the same time monetize the heck out of those pet hustlers. And and Freedom Fusion System was born. So anyway, guys, look, I don't want to bore you about my talent agency, but I will give you the tea. I will give you the tea that will help you figure out how to build any kind of product or how to retail it and how to do so across multiple platforms. As you guys know, I'm a digital feudal lord, meaning in the one workshop alone where I'm swimming like a shark, you get to learn so much tea, more tea than in any other YouTube video that you ever come across. And what I do is I pull out multiple skills out of my brain and I literally give them out to you. Now, of course, the tea becomes even more spicier once you join our low ticket product bundle called Threads Stack, where all of this tea is operationalized. Because I already know how many moms over 40, they may listen to this and they're like, man, that tea is kind of hot, but the tea goes in one ear and then comes out of another ear. It never fully registers until you actually execute it. And of course, as part of Stack Digital Power Bundle, we give moms over 40 and digital sis not only the tea, but operationalized tea. So this way you will repeat it over and over again with our operationalized Freedom Fusion automations that you just use. You press a button and those automations guide you through the whole process of getting more subs, growing your feudal kingdom, making more money, reselling your product, bundles, programs, and services. Lots of digital sis enjoy this content so much, they come down and they treat our talent agency as a digital supplier. Sometimes they would try to compete, and I'm like, do you guys really think that I'm your competition? I'm not your competition, guys. If anything, what I do is I help you guys spawn the same amount of money and sell more digital products or any kind of services, or if you have a restaurant or if you have any other business, what we do, we help you guys increase your ROI. Of course, some moms come to us, they're like, yo, Rome, I got a restaurant, what can you do about that? And we're like, I bet, let me go ahead and figure out the business model for your restaurant. And of course, we give them the tea, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then they come back and they're like, oh my God, that helped my restaurant so much. And of course, guys, that's what our talent agency does. Whatever the feudal kingdom that you build as the bougie boss mom, whether it's your own luxury pet store, or maybe your own restaurant, or maybe, I don't know, me. I had some mom literally wanted to monetize her horses and a farm. I was like, man, that's kind of new to me, but I mean, horse kind of looked close enough to my brother's Doberman. If I could monetize my brother's Doberman, maybe I could monetize the heck out of the horse. So guys, look, where is your wife? She's actually sitting right there. Chilling over there, chilling like a villain over there. And yeah, guys, so for many of you who made it through and ready to hear the tea, and of course, that's the reward that you guys get listening to my crazy stories and just still being here hanging around, you get the reward. I'm gonna give you the digital tea that will allow you to snipe any digital sis or digital mom from threads and pivot them and bring them into your community. And of course, this is a super hot tea, guys. I hope you guys are ready. So check this out. When you go on threads, here's a couple of things what's happening. When you go on threads, it's a social platform that is like text-based platform. And you see a lot of text kind of going in and out, and you'll be like, man, I need to make money. How do I do that? Well, you need to get leads. But how to do that? There's so many different texts kind of scrolling. You'll be like, man, I kind of want to make that sale. And of course, how do you do that? Well, that's where the tea comes in. So you see, I see many digital sis and bougie boss moms over 40 making the following mistake. They start going on threads and they start reading the threads, and whatever they see, they just kind of respond subconsciously and be like, I kind of see an interesting thread. I'm going to go ahead and respond. Wrong. If you do that, you get cooked so fast. It's absolutely crazy how fast you get cooked. What I mean by that, you see, when you start responding to people just because you want to respond without any kind of strategic thinking behind the scenes, then you're getting cooked. You're getting cooked so fast. By who? By algorithm. The algorithm is paying close attention, and the algorithm is literally feeding you the same people that you are interacting with, liking and commenting, when you don't even realize that you shouldn't have been commenting and liking on any of those people in the first place. Why? Because they're your direct competitors versus versus 9-to-5ers, business owners, side hustlers, or any other ideal customer profile that you're trying to target. So what happens? You keep subconsciously responding, and as a result, you're not making any money, you're not making any sales, you feel frustrated. All you had to do was refrain yourself from responding and knowing when to ignore the comments versus continuously responding. Yeah, this is a tea. As soon as I went ahead and I tried it with myself, the other day I was like, man, I'm so like, anxious to go ahead and respond to some tea, but I'm like, wait a second, I need to snipe some bougie boss moms who are business moms, not just like digital sis who are just sniping other moms. I need to find actual business owners who really need help, who wants to increase their ROI. And of course, watching all those different types of threads, I was like, man, you know what? I'm always getting trapped. I'm always getting tricked to respond. And I was like, wait, I had to stop myself. So once I realized the strategy, how effective the strategy works in terms of refraining yourself from who to respond to, I went ahead and doubled down and I operationalized that into really easy to use Freedom Fusion automation that is available in our ThreadStack digital power bundle that literally mentally stops you from responding to people who you shouldn't be responding and hitting like on people's threads who you shouldn't be doing that in the first place, because algorithm constantly will start feeding you the wrong people, and then you don't build on any relationships, and all of a sudden you get cooked and you get frustrated and you're working extra harder thinking you need to make more posts only to be completely exhausted and sooner or later give up. So guys, look, what I just gave you is a quick tea, and I told you a manual way for how you can battle with that tea. You could literally just kind of stop yourself in the process, or you could use our Freedom Fusion automations as being, when you get access to our ThreadStack digital power bundle, you get access to this strategy to see what it looks like manually, and you get to practice, and then come back to us and guide and literally say, oh, like in a guide, the way our ThreadStack digital power bundle is designed, you jump into a guide and there's each step and you follow the step, and then you come back and you make a comment saying, yes, I completed the step. So it has accountability functionality built into our mobile friendly app, sort of like TikTok, but better. Why? Because it encompasses combination of workshops and guides and other FUD experts, Feudal Underground Development Community experts, meaning coaches who have different types of skills, who can elevate your other skills beyond just whatever the skills that I'm showing you. For example, we have coaches that makes it possible for you to increase your chances of getting a grant. So this way you have that money to pay to somebody like our talent agency to go ahead and help you learn more of those strategies. So this way you could increase ROI further. Once again, guys, there's many different key components built in Thread Stack Digital Power Bundle, such as encouragement, accountability, and support. You get the priority, accountability, encouragement, and support as part of that Thread Stack Digital Power Bundle. On TikTok, you just don't get anything like that. On TikTok, you're just constantly scrolling. You don't know what you don't know what for, and you're getting cooked so fast. But with Thread Stack Digital Power Bundle, yay, you get that accountability, encouragement, and support. So right now what I did is I just described a quick algorithm for threads. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and give you the strategy of what's called the Skooky Sys. And not only is it a strategy that is also described in Thread Stack Digital Power Bundle, but it also happens to be a Freedom Fusion automation explicitly designed to help you get people attracted to your brand, but on school. It also helps you level up super fast. I literally managed to level up to level 6 quickly outgone pretty much every other member in the school community, super fast, using the Skooky. Guys, here's what are you doing tomorrow evening? Oh, well, tomorrow evening, I don't know. We haven't planned that far for tomorrow evening. But my wife, she kind of just is like, man, we've been going out so much, going on canoe, doing all sorts of different things. And today, I mean, I don't know how we're able to escape. Like literally, we jumped in a canoe. And we're trying to, we're trying to row, but we kept getting like pushed away by the wind. But yeah, like she got tired, so she kind of wants to just stay in. Maybe we'll go to some park or something. But yeah, that's the idea. So no concrete plan for the evening, but yeah, I mean that's what it is, and she's right there walking. So no concrete plan for the evening. But look, guys, check this out. I know some of you be like, Rome, I don't like those strategies. I want to have fun. But guys, come on, I want you to be also like, have a good life and swim in the pool and relax and go out travel with your significant other. I won't actually do that. But to do that, you need those strategies. And of course, not everybody like understands, like, why do I need to level up? Why do I need to know about threads? Oh, we got Jesus. Cool. Hello. Yeah. Hello, Jesus. So guys, a lot of folks confuse me for Jesus too, because I have a really long hair. I don't know if you've seen my picture. I really have long hair, and I sometimes perceive like a holy man. So thank you. Hello. So guys, look, at the end of the day, here's what you got to understand. Swimming in the pool, I mean, anybody could create this life. I mean, like, guys, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you have, here's how you could do this. You could build this life, like literally, guys. I mean, there's many ways that you could build this life, whether you want to do it through with real estate stocks, or just going for a fully blown career, or a combination of having your own talent agency or anything else, or just doing a bunch of side hustles. What we do, we show exactly different side hustles in our feudal underground development community that helps you figure out a way for how to make that money. So this way you can build a life like this. And of course, there's like long-term goals, there's short-term goals. I don't expect you guys striking gold right away. It will take a little bit of time. And of course, that's what we do. We guide folks in their personal endeavors and their professional endeavors in our community collectively. Now, going back to what I was saying, right now, guys, I talked about Skooky Sys. So here's what the Skooky Sys Freedom Fusion automation can do for you. Look, at the end of the day, you kind of have to be very strategic. Whatever it is that you're trying to sell, you need to be in front of the right audience. Now, when you use school as a community, and you use threads, and you use YouTube, you use LinkedIn, there's many different types of fish swimming in the ocean. You kind of have to direct your offer towards the right fish. Otherwise, you're going to be like so cooked, working extra hard. But all you got to do is just got to flex your neural muscles a little bit more, and just move your offer in the direction of the correct fish. And of course, like, how do you do that? And a lot of people get confused. A lot of moms over 40 be like, man, I've been creating content left and right. I've been posting. I don't know what to do. And like, what is this whole thing, school thing? What does that do? Well, look, first of all, guys, you got to understand that school is mostly tailored literally for, I mean, it could be for American people and whatnot, but mostly what I've seen on school, mostly it's very sophisticated people who are very smart across different sectors. It depends what communities. But what I've seen, like depending on which community you find, there's some communities that have those skills where people are willing to provide service for free in order to prove themselves and give a testimonial. Now, some of you will say, well, I care about that. Well, the truth is, guys, when you start off, you don't really have any money. You don't really have any money, but maybe you have some idea, maybe you have some business, maybe you want to build a luxury pet store, TikTok shop, and sell some products, but you really need to have some people who are doing certain things for free. But how do you do that? How do you get those people to do something for free when you don't have any money? And that's what I'm gonna cover in this strategy. And of course, I'll reveal this cookie sis strategy that explains about the concept of leveling up. In order for you to get something free, guys, you need to level up in school community and be able to be in front of that fish. And once you do that, any kind of post that you create in school community is going to be shown up in front of that fish. So that fish is going to be swimming around and they're going to be seeing your post. Now, how do you do that? And what are you going to do next once you catch that fish? What you're going to do, you're going to leverage that fish. You're going to leverage the testimonial. There's going to be lots of fish swimming around and they're going to be like, yo, if you let me automate your business, I'm going to, I'll work for it for free of charge for like 2 to 3 months straight. And and all you got to do is once you help me prove myself that it works, then you could pay me. So there's opportunities like that. It's called performance-based marketing. And of course, for you to identify that and be like, oh my God, that's kind of golden, because I don't really need to pay any money to anybody really to build my business. And if you combine that and stack that together with a bunch of grants, and of course, in our community, you learn how to get such thing as called grants. Now, some of you will be like, man, I don't know if I could get a grant or not. But the bottom line is there's a bunch of ways that you could get the money. And of course, grants are not applicable for everybody. But like if you stack a couple of those different things, different strategies that I'm talking about, stack them on top together, then you're going to be able to break through some of that fish that's swimming in there and utilize that fish for whatever the goal that you're trying to achieve. So for example, let's say you're trying to build your own TikTok shop and you're building it and you'll be like, yo, is your phone waterproof? You know what? That is a very good question. Let's find out. Okay, I guess it is. Yes. So yeah, it's waterproof to the point, to a certain point. And of course, guys, if you wanna kind of learn more about this strategy, here's what this next part comes in. Once you get that fish, what you need to do, guys, you need to build the relationships. So that fish can help you navigate the waters. So that fish can help you build your feudal kingdom. And of course, I'm so cooked right now, like even explaining that. Guys, as I mentioned to you earlier, trying to figure out this strategy that I'm telling you right now, just by randomly jumping in and not seeing it from the beginning of the workshop, is like trying to solve a murder mystery. So if you want the tea, rewatch this workshop from the beginning. I'm gonna make it available. Sheesh. Man, the water is so nice and warm. Oh, thank you, Lord, for that Indian restaurant that I just went to, because apparently I couldn't find any other restaurant on Thanksgiving Day. So I was able to treat myself with some chicken wings and chicken tikka masala. Now, let's get back to the strategy. So as I told you about the fish that you got to get to, when we're talking about the concept of how do you build a business if you don't have any money? How do you get other people to do things for you without any money? And that's the strategy that I'm kind of navigating through this high cardinality, heterogeneous complexities of the modern digital world we live in today. Now, let's pause. What am I talking about? So we're talking about school. Of course, there's multiple platforms, as I described. We're talking. So how do you break through your ideal customer profile through what's so-called transitive property of mathematics? Now, I'm sure you guys heard of, some of you took math, and you would probably be like, See the relationship. If A relates to B, then and B relates to C, then A relates to C. That kind of stuff. That's called transitive property of mathematics. But don't worry, you don't really need to be a mathematics genius to understand this. But math, I mean, I'm a former certified math teacher for the state of Connecticut with double degree in mathematics. And what I like to do, I like to introduce a little bit of math behind the scenes to kind of help you understand the gravity of the situation. So this way you can learn how to construct those beautiful relationships that will help you build the business without actually paying anybody money to build that, even if you're completely broke and starting out. Now, this is a complete key. It's like getting a neural surgery in your brain and trying to figure out all of those activities that are happening. Now, keep something in mind, guys. Once you crack that strategy, and of course you're going to learn that strategy if you rewatch it from the beginning. Once you crack it, you're going to be like, oh my God, nobody explained it to me. I thought I always needed to have money to build my own business. I always wanted to be my own boss, but I always thought that you need to be like bougie and be swimming in pool like robles and being a mathematics genius. No, guys, none of that is needed. I mean, heck, I came from a really poor family, guys. And when I was born in Russia, I mean, from time to time, I talk to my subscribers in different languages, in Russian, in Spanish, in English. Sometimes I iterate and translate and simultaneously and synchronously translate things from English to Russian and to Spanish and vice versa. And sometimes when you see me do that, some of you be like, man, who is this guy? Guys, look, I'm nobody special. I'm just a 21st century freedom writer. I live in Connecticut, not so far away from Mark Twain. My name's Ron Wells, and I love to help people spawn money. And if you want to learn how, even if you don't have any, I'll explain how. But it will be like a neural surgery. Now, going back to the school strategy. And happy Thanksgiving. Yay! We are celebrating Thanksgiving for sure. You know, although, guys, you know, I had some cranberry sauce, but you know, apparently it went bad because we kept driving through Florida from one place to another. Guys, that's what happens when you take a road trip all the way from Connecticut to Florida and be like, I bet, let me see what happens. Well, a lot of interesting things happen. Like, for example, food goes bad when I'm driving around, or my car gets towed in Philadelphia, or my car doesn't start at all, as it happened to me just a few days ago. All those magical things happen, and for all of those things you need money, and to get that money you need strategies, and those strategies are best explained by people who are executing them on a regular basis. And of course, those people would be my feudal hustlers, my feudal army. The feudal hustlers are like high-ranking generals that lead moms over 40 to freedom, that give them the strategies that can help moms over 40 make more money, monetize their pets, cats, kids, and dogs, and increase revenue for their businesses. So now some of you will say, well, Rome, holy smokes, I really love everything the way you describe, and it's super logical. You're talking about swishing, you're talking about school and all those different people and the fish, and I'm like, man, I kind of like those comparisons, but how do I, like, is that what I need to do to make money? Do I need to be like that? Do I need to be really explaining things the way I'm explaining, with contrast and comparison, showing things, swimming in the pool, doing crazy things like this? Well, guys, the answer is no. You could start off slow just by selling somebody's product. You could start off like that. Now, why? Why do I say selling somebody else's product and not just build your own product right away? The reason why is because you don't really have a brand, and it's hard as hell to build a brand. Guys, I've been building a brand for like 2 years, and I still haven't made a dime. Haven't made a dime. All of the like me swimming in a pool, that has nothing to do with whatever it is that I'm talking about over here. But look, it takes a little bit of time for you to get good. And once you get good, trust me, you're going to know. Because out of a sudden, people are going to be listening to you and be like, yo, I could relate to this because, look, I kind of also don't make any money. I want to figure out a way for how to make money, but how do I get those side hustlers to do work for me without having any money? And Rome Wells describes it prolifically, and I love it because somehow I feel like I could pull it off. This is why I never tell people like, oh, hey, you know, I made an insane amount of money, or that none of that matters, because just because somebody else made some money doesn't necessarily mean that you will. It just, that's why I never bring that up. I always tell people, look, guys, treat me just as yourself, just like you're being broke the same way I'm being broke. Treat me the same way, no different. But what you're gonna get from me is some of those unique strategies that will help you level up on across multiple socials. So this way you could get a lot of subscribers and start selling not just to your subscribers, but rather leveraging your subscribers to make money. And a good example of that would be, for example, building your own luxury pet store, selling products on TikTok Shop, while getting a bunch of UGC creators to promote a bunch of those luxury pet products, where everybody gets to make money together, and you get to be the facilitator, the orchestrator. And of course, guys, and you always gotta, in order for me to help you guys, I kind of need to know what's your avatar. Like, my avatar is orchestrator. I'm really good with like connecting people, but I'm not so good with executing things. Remember, in this life, you gotta kind of be a little bit of everything, but also have the core avatar that is within you. So let me know in the comments below what kind of avatar you are, whether you're an optimizer, whether you're an executioner, whether you're an orchestrator, and that will help me kind of facilitate the conversation a little further and explain, like, gear the conversation a little further towards your avatar. Now, keep something in mind, guys. I know some of you will be like, Rome, but I kind of everything you're talking about sounds like that movie, Last Airbender or whatever. I'm sure you guys seen that movie where there's like a little kid who became like sort of like Neo and Matrix, but but he becomes the ultimate avatar, the hybrid avatar of them all. So yes, eventually I want you to become like that kid, but we'd have to be realistic, guys. Like, you can't be everything all over the place. You have to have the core area of expertise, and of course it's hard to develop that if you don't have anybody guiding you or encouraging you or believing in you and telling you try this, try that, because every turn you take could be disastrous if you don't have somebody who's guiding you. It could be like literally the difference between you succeeding faster or not succeeding at all. I mean, heck, last time when I tried things on my own without having any mentor, I ended up losing $300,000, guys. $300,000. Can you imagine that? Losing $300,000. That's the difference between having somebody guiding you versus not. I wish I could erase that from my mind and turn the clock back. But we all make mistakes. I mean, this mistake was kind of nuts though. But anyway, the bottom line is, this year was kind of good for me. Although by the end of the year, stock market kind of took a hit, so it wasn't super good. But needless to say, guys, look, at the end of the day, think about it this way: for you to succeed, all you need, and let me read the comments. So happy Thanksgiving. That's a lot. Oh yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. But also, this year I made 600K. That is also a lot. And I lost like another 300K in the latest downturn in the stock market. So guys, look, at the end of the day, when you start things off and you try and experiment, you could lose a lot of money. Now, that's a fact. I mean, you could do research. You could ask ChatGPT and be like, yo, what would happen if I don't have a mentor? And I just kind of wing it and try to do that on my own. And of course, I mean, you're gonna get a response from ChatGPT saying, "Oh, no, you're definitely gonna get a mentor." And I didn't think I needed one, and I didn't really cared for that for one. I was like, man, I'm so good. I could figure everything out myself. If I could turn the clock back, oh my God, I would turn the clock back. But we live with our mistakes, and in this life, guys, you make many mistakes. I mean, but remember, life is short. You have to leave. You have to enjoy a beautiful life. You have to swim in a pool, no matter what happens. Now, but of course, you also have to have a career. You have to have some side hustles. There has to be multiple revenues of stream income coming in. Now, keep something in mind. 600K. That's how much I made this year, and then stock market took a hit, so I lost in the past 2 months close to like 300 G's also. And 300 G's that I was talking about that I lost earlier, that was from many years ago. So if you count for inflation and everything, it's probably a lot more. Now, guys, keep something in mind. In life, you lose and you win. But to win, you need to have odds on your side. That means smart people, smart people guiding you, smart people who preferably already failed. So this way you don't fail. So now, so how are you? I'm pretty good. I'm just chilling in the pool over here, and you know what? I'm so cooked. I was trying to drive around. I was driving around early in a previous workshop I created. Workshop, guys, me trying to find a spot, a spot where I could eat, and it was Thanksgiving, everything was closed. I was like, man, I can't find a spot to eat, and I was driving around like a maniac, and luckily I found Indian restaurant, and boy, oh boy, thank God, it's kind of cold in my place. You know what? I mean, go ahead and get like a little ceramic heater. I mean, if you get a ceramic heater, I mean, it's gonna be lit. And I mean, what's the temperature? Did you say it was 39 degrees or something? I don't know if it was you in previous live stream, but I did have somebody who said it was really cold in where they're from. And indeed, guys, like that's, I mean, it's really unfortunate. Like this is the reason why I learned the entire industry of HVAC. Fun fact: did you guys know that I learned the entire field of HVAC? Now, some of you will be like, what? Yes, this is a true story. I'm fully well versed in the field of HVAC, meaning heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, meaning everything having to do with installing central air systems, mini split systems, anything around the house, anything, heck, even tankless water heaters. Now, some of you will say, well, like, how do I do that? How's it even possible? So, nice house. That's not my house. This is just an Airbnb that I rented. And of course, it was like we rented this one for 5 days. The previous ones we rented it for a lot more. Like, well, I mean, like 3 days there, 2 days there, and some other place in Virginia. And while driving from Connecticut to Florida, we came across multiple Airbnbs. And the Airbnb that we came across was like the first one was in Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, man, oh man. In Philadelphia, it was crazy, guys. My car got towed, and I don't know like what happened over there. It was just absolutely nuts. But this is a nice place, guys. Like literally, if you have money, go. It means my bad. Oh, okay. Oh, MB. Okay. I was trying to figure out what does MB stand for. My bad. Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, like, look, guys. At the end of the day, I mean, I do have a couple of properties in Russia. I have like several properties there. In America, I do Airbnb myself as well. And if you guys want to learn that, I provide that as well for my subscribers. If you want to learn how to rent things out, I'm doing it across both countries, across Russia and US. Although there are a bunch of drones kind of flying around. I was gonna go there this year. I went there 2 years ago, but man, it was like this year I really wanted to go to Russia, but I'm like, man, what's up with the drones? And so yeah, so I couldn't really go this year. I'll probably go next year. So but yes, if you guys want to learn about Airbnbs and like how do you rent one out and like how to make money, how to like, that's of course you're gonna get that as well as part of my ThreadStack digital power bundle. How's your Thanksgiving? You see, my Thanksgiving was really just me driving around with my wife around from Akala to here to this place, to this town, which is Coral something. I forgot the name, but it's one of those towns where there's a house with 82 degrees pool, and yeah, and it was just me driving around for like 4 hours straight. And right before that, it was spring, me swimming in the springs with my wife. Wow, a lot of driving, I imagine. Yeah, it was about 4 hours for sure. It was drive. I mean, you know what? Like, but those 4 hours were elite because I figured out a bunch of strategies, threats, stacking strategies while I was driving. And of course, I don't highly recommend doing that. What I do is I kind of iterate through some of those testing. What I do is I do a lot of testing. What I do is I do lots of social psychology testing on different types of people across different socials. That's how I come up with different ideas for what works and what doesn't. And what I do is I hand out those ideas to my subscribers. So this way they have a lot less like hurdles. This way they just kind of crack through the human brain as much as possible, as fast as possible, without struggling to make any sales. Whatever it is they're trying to sell, whether it's any kind of business, product, program, or service. So what I do is I figured out like how to tap into the human brain, but from the social perspective, from the perspective of multiple socials like LinkedIn, Threads, School, TikTok, Buy Me Coffee, FUD, and all those different places, including YouTube. What I do is I figured out some of those mechanisms that really push the trigger, that makes people to react, makes people want to buy a certain product, program, or service. And I package everything into strategies, and then what I do is I take those strategies and I operationalize them in automations. So this way, people who subscribe to ThreadStack can get access to those automations, and they just press a button, and they don't really have to learn anything. It just kind of guides them through the whole process of promoting their product, program, or services across multiple socials. So this way, they don't have to spend colossal amount of time reverse engineering all of those psychologies and all those crazy techniques that work out there, that really work, but it just takes colossal amount of time. Oh yeah, 4 hours. Yeah, that was 4 hours driving. You know what? The temperature changed because, you know, we're in Ocala. We're swimming over there, springs, and of course it's warm. But man, when you get here, it gets even, you know, the temperature changes. So, I mean, right now we got this whole big house for ourselves. I mean, that's kind of dope. I mean, that's what gives me inspiration, guys, to keep doing this. Because I know, like right now, if I wanted to buy a house like that, I could totally buy it, like several houses like this. But the truth is, like, you know, I don't, you know, in life you kind of gotta do things which you want to do. You have to save money for retirement. You have to save money for the house. You have to be renting things out. There's many different buckets in your life that you gotta tap into. whether you're doing Uber or Uber Eats or DoorDash or doing any side hustles, whatever it is that you guys doing, you have to be kind of dedicating a little bit of yourself across multiple pockets of opportunities. I hope that makes sense. But I know, but driving, you know, traveling is our theme. My wife, you know, we got that popcorn machine. I don't know if you guys can see it. We're probably gonna whip out some popcorn a bit later and kind of, I don't know, eat some popcorn. It got the shower over here, and I mean, I showed. And guys, like, this is a crazy way of creating content, swimming in a pool. Like, this is you know, I experimented with a strategy on TikTok, and I noticed how effective this strategy is, because it kind of is bonkers, where you're swimming around in the pool and you're spilling tea. And of course, guys, some of you be like, well, do I need to do the same thing? Do I need to spill a lot of tea? Can I be swimming in the pool? Can I, like, how do I do this? I don't really have enough neural brain cells to kind of figure out, like, what strategies to talk about while I'm swimming. Guys, don't worry about it. In my ThreadStack Digital Power Bundle, you're going to learn how to resell, if you wanted to, our products, programs, and services, including ThreadStack Digital Power Bundle, which is our low-ticket offer. You're going to learn how to resell it, and if you wanted to, you could build your own bundle. We show you how to do that as well. And of course, if you wanted to connect with other people, other feudal lords, and if you also wanted to connect with any kind of bougie boss moms, that's what we do. We help you guys get connected with them. But of course, you know, they really want hybrid skilled side hustlers who have who have really amazing skills, not just like one trick pony skills like a freelancer skill, but they want, like, literally, like, really powerful side hustlers. And there's no way in hell that I'll be able to just tell them, like, hey, you know what, here's a side hustler who I met on YouTube who didn't go through the training of ThreadStack and be able to truly help you guys and connect you, unless you actually develop those skills. And but once you develop those skills, it's just gonna be smooth sailing. You're gonna be coming back to me, and you're gonna be like, Rome, I can't believe this. I just got locked a deal with one of the feudal lords, and I'm getting a retainer now and a feudal share as well. And I'm, like, so happy creating content for some brand, etc. You're gonna come back to me and go like, man, you gotta cut me in. You gotta be my boss now. That's what I do, guys. I don't be like, hey, I'm your boss or anything like that. No, I let my subscribers be my boss. That's how I roll. I already know that it's going to be impossible for me to succeed if I was just to be, like, the boss. Instead, what I do is I elevate side hustlers and subscribers who become my ThreadStack subscribers to be my boss for my talent agency. You could think of it this way. What we do, we'll help you become that boss. Think about it this way. And I know some of you be like, well, Rome, like, but what is the way like, how do I do this? What is the best way for me to learn those skills? And what skills are you talking about? I'm just trying to decipher them. I'm like I'm really trying. I really want to have a beautiful life. I want to be swimming in a pool. I want to be traveling and watching crocodiles and doing all those things. I've seen your life. I've seen your shirts, and I'm like, man, I kind of want to have that life, but like I don't know where to start. Well, guys, that's a very good question, because in ThreadStack Digital Power Bundle, we have not just one mentor, but we have collection of like over 100 coaches that literally can help you develop your niche and develop some of those skills. Like, for example, we have one guy who just focuses on, he was working for entire life as a director of acting. So he knows like all those little details for what you got to do with your, like with your voice, with your tonality, with like the way you got to talk. And like all those secrets, all those things that he was training all those actors for, like for 40 or 50 years or whatever, whatever the thing is, whatever his expertise are. That would be just one example. And of course, in order for you to truly get those skills, what we did, we build a community that includes multiple people, multiple coaches like that. And of course, you could subscribe to them if you wanted to separately, or you could just learn from the free workshops. And if you don't want it to subscribe, that's also fine. But the bottom line is, like, this is essentially what we always recommend. We always recommend to have like a general mentor, like somebody sort of like when you go to doctor, you have a general doctor that you go to. But then if something really bad is happening with you, there's kind of prescribe, they refer you to another doctor, right? So that's the way, that's the way we did it in our community. It's called Feudal Underground Development. Woohoo! I know it's kind of nuts, that name. That name kind of nuts. I don't know how many blunts I smoked that day when I came up with that name. But anyway, I did, and somehow it kind of got picked up. And yeah, so to make the story short, think of it this way. On ThreadStack, the digital power bundle that you could help us resell and make money in the process and learn from, and also get connected with feudal lords, brand owners, so that way you could learn the skills of how to connect to them. So this way you can learn what to pitch to them, because essentially they're very sophisticated creatures, the feudal lords, the business owners. they're really hard to get through, guys, unless you leverage those skills. And those skills unfortunately require like multiple expertise. It's not just like let me learn one psychology trick or something like this. It's really like combinations. You sort of have to be like Neo from Matrix to be able to like convince any of those business owners. It's that serious, guys. Now, if you get lucky, some business owners are just flat out, they're like, yep, I want to pay you. Like literally just like that. The other day I walked into a restaurant and I came across one feudal lord who had a restaurant. I went out and I had some food and you know, he came up to me and he asked for a review, a Google review, the actual owner of the restaurant. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and give you the review. And I've been going to that restaurant for quite some time. And I tell him, you know, I've been going to that restaurant for some time. I love it. Yeah, sure, I'll give you the review. And then he's like, well, go to Google and like figure it out on your own how to get there. and I was like, I bet I'm gonna go ahead and go on Google and give you the review. But then I started thinking, I was like, wait a second, that kind of a really complex process. I mean, because I'm a technologically inclined creature, I can kind of do that. But a regular customer who's hungry as hell, or like after they eat or whatever the case, they're gonna be lazy. They're not gonna do that. So what I did, I took at that particular moment, I took my phone and I came up to the owner after I finished food, and I said, oh my God, the food is delicious, as good as always. But check this out, you're not gonna believe it. And what I did is I showed them a basic 30 seconds video of a TikTok video of a pop card that shows where a waiter pops up, moves their phone closer to the customer's phone, and a little Google review pops up right away where you could just put the review and you're good to go. And when he looked at that pop card, his lights, like his eyes, started glowing so much, and I instantly recognized that the restaurant was struggling with getting customers. It was like it wasn't getting enough people, traffic coming in. And at that particular moment, like I was like that superhero to that feudal lord, to that restaurant owner, and in, in that split second, in that short, quick 30 seconds clip that I showed him of somebody just, you know, touching the phone like to another phone, and a little pop-up, the Google review pop-up popping up where you could do where the customer can do the review. Man, he was so inspired by that. This at that particular moment, that's when I introduced myself and I said, my name is Ron Wells. I have a talent agency, and what we do, we have AI and automation division where we help different businesses the revenue. If you like, I can set this up for you, this system, this precise system. And he was like, oh yeah, well, tell me how much it's gonna cost. Now, you guys see like how this pitch literally took me less than, oh my God, like I told you, 30 seconds. But what did I have to go through to get to do that? I had to eat in a restaurant. Like, I'm sure there's better strategies out there where you don't really have to eat in a restaurant, but maybe you could order like a small appetizer and be like, hey, can I talk to the owner? Anytime you go to the restaurant, you could be stacking those kind of combinational psychology oriented strategies where you could intertangle some of our services. By the way, because you're following me guys, you could totally resell our products, programs, and services, including our automations, just like the one that I described for restaurants. In fact, we're actually building this automation right now for that business owner who I really just approached to. Now, the funny part about this business owner, if you think about it, that business owner be like a very powerful feudal lord. And why do I know that this is a very powerful feudal lord? Well, it's simple. When I talked to him, he's like, well, tell me how much it's gonna cost. And I'm like, well, I don't know, let me talk to my business partner. And of course, I told him at that particular point I didn't really have any business partner. I'd be like, I had to make it up. And I'm like, let me talk to my business partner. And of course, guys, you want to be truthful, but you also need to have the testimonial behind your back, because at the end of the day, if you don't have a testimonial, it's gonna be like trying to swim. It's like trying to solve a triple murder mystery. Of course, guys, to get that testimonial, what you need to do, you need to squabble up together with somebody who's already done it a couple of times. Now, the truth is, my talent agency, although didn't specifically work with the restaurants before, we did work with big banks like JP Morgan Chase, BNY, and many other banks. And so, in a way, we already had that testimonial ingrained in our in our service. But what came out of it is that the brand owner, the feudal lord, that powerful feudal lord, wanted that automation, wanted that solution, that small little solution. Now imagine you being in a mix of providing that solution. And this is just one example, guys. This is just one example of one feudal lord. But guess what? There's multiple feudal lords. What I just gave you is a really complex T, like almost impossible to break through that T, because it will it will take a little bit of time to decipher some of that T. But this was just an example of one feudal lord wanting something, and me explaining. It only took me 30 seconds to pitch to the feudal lord, only 30 seconds to produce. Well, how much is the feudal lord ready to pay? $300 a month. Guys, imagine the feudal lord ready to pay $300 a month, and it only took me 30 seconds to pitch. Imagine that. Now, imagine what would happen if you stack other services beyond $300 a month after you prove the value. What happens? Well, you got to do something else. You have to upsell the feudal lord. And of course, the feudal lord, remember, the feudal lord needs you more than you need them. Why? Because the feudal lord makes money. So what did the offer look like? The offer to the feudal lord looked like this. The offer that we pitched to the feudal lord looked like this. We could help your restaurant spawn more money and increase your ROI by like 100K in 1 year. Now, it may seem impossible, guys, but Think about it. Think about it. If you have a powerful solution and you can prove ROI by 100K and your solution costs only $300 a month, that seems like a very good deal for the feudal lord. So, in order for you to figure it out how to construct those business elements and those strategies in order to serve the feudal lords and figure out what is working, what is not working, you need to have hybrid skills. I'm talking about business development, threat stacking, TikTok sniping, and apps stacking, all of those skills, including content, including AI content driven automations, and so much more. Anyway, guys, look, I gave you some tea. Now, for the school tea, the school kisses, I mentioned to you that I will give you the tea. If you guys want the tea, if you want the school kisses, so this way you could level up, that is an automation that will make it easy for you to level up. If you want that automation, subscribe to ThreadStack. Access is only $14.99 per month. I promise you guys, this is the automation that will allow you level up in school. Sheesh. When I leveled up to level 6 in school, it was like all hell broke loose. Out of a sudden, I became so popular in school. I'll be literally just dominating one community after another, guys. It's absolutely insane. With the cookies, it allows you to tap into your very own posts and ta-da, other people post. Yeah, that's what this cookie says does. It makes it super easy for you to guys build business relationships. And I know, I know. Some of you be like, man, I don't want business relationships. I want money. But guess what? Guess what? Money comes from business relationships. Woo! I know it sounds boring. It doesn't seem fancy, guys. But that's what this cookie sys allows you to do. It allows you to quickly level up on school, become like level 6 goat, and just promote the hell out of your services while encapsulating your business proposition together with a bunch of goats. And in the process, spawning money. Some of you will be like, well, why do I need to encapsulate my business offer with a bunch of goats? Why can't I just be like, infinitely just promoting my offer? Well, the reason why is because you could get banned and not be able to promote anything. And of course, guys, some of you will be like, well, no, I don't really care about that because I could do pay-per-click or I could do inorganic marketing. But you do. Your ROI, your return on investment is going to suffer. You're not going to be making good enough amount of money. So guys, look, at the end of the day, all you got to do is level up on school. Now, of course, school is not what's going to pay your bills. School is what's going to give you access to some of those hybrid skilled people. Not necessarily fully hybrid skilled, but good enough to give you some firepower to go ahead and build your own talent agency or any other agency or any other business or your luxury pet store. So this way you could sell more products, luxury pet products. Yee, man, I'm so cooked right now. It's kind of getting chilly. Sheesh. So guys, I hope now some of you will be like, man, I just joined this life. I don't know what the hell is going on. This guy is swimming in a pool. Guys, look, here's the deal. I'm breaking the tea that can help you also swim in the pool. So this way you could, have a beautiful life, enjoy yourself, and of course make money. And of course that's what you learn in this live workshop. And if you missed it, no worries. I'll make it available for you guys. You could replay it. You could replay it in your own time. But look, I don't want to bore you. I promise you guys, you have probably a lot of things to do on your Thanksgiving, and I know some of you already probably full. You ate a lot of turkey, and you probably want to just go watch TV or something. I get it. So me too. I'm gonna tap out now, guys. And if you guys are interested in more of those strategy, DM Path on my Insta. I'll see you next time.